Welcome aboard, everybody. Hi, Kimberly Ray here, the Marine Conservation Network. And I'm here today with Rebecca Daniel. She is from the Marine Diaries. And this is our spotlight for the week. This is an organization, a marine conservation organization that we're going to connect you with and let you know what they're doing and how you can get involved. And how are you doing today, Rebecca?
I'm good, thank you. And thanks for having me on this chat.
It's a pleasure. I'm really glad to meet you and have you on board and let everybody get to know a little bit about you. Why don't we start out, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the marine environment? Where did your love and your passion for the ocean start?
Yeah, so basically, I think it's mainly my mum. She was a technical diver. I think she learnt to dive in her 20s or 30s, and every weekend she was going off on dive trips, mainly around the UK. So she used to take us on the trips sometimes, like onto the dive boat. We'd look at her photos, see the things that she collected from shipwrecks and stuff around the UK. So she actually has a plate from the Lusitania, which is like a sister ship to the Titanic. Which is really cool. Yeah, really cool. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, she was just always showing us stuff. We went on a lot of kind of like ocean-based holidays. So I remember going to Mauritius when I was quite young, and we went snorkeling and on like a glass-bottomed boat, things like that.
Wow.
And I was absolutely obsessed with dolphins for a really long time. So I had like an entirely dolphin themed bedroom, like the walls, the curtains, the bed sheets.
Oh my gosh. You had your whole marine world with you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and we always kind of went to aquariums and stuff. I do have this distinct memory of watching a dolphin show, and I dread to think that it might have been at SeaWorld, but we'll skip over that one.
That's okay. I think that's where a lot of ours got our passion in the beginning, was like aquariums and SeaWorld and those kind of things. I know I did. For people that don't know, the waters in UK aren't they warm or cold?
Oh, they're quite cold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So we do have really incredible marine wildlife around the UK because we have a lot of deep water channels. That means we get lots of kind of like cetaceans, we have a lot of seals, but I didn't necessarily grow up like really close to any of that, apart from a really big basically population of seals that come ashore in a place called Donanook in Lincolnshire, and it's one of the biggest kind of like seal aggregations when they're pupping that are really close to land, like to the shore, that you can just literally go and see them, which is really cool. But I actually have never dived in the UK, so all of the diving I've done has been tropical. But I wanted to be a vet for absolutely ages because I just loved animals so much, and I did some work experience in a vet, and I was talking to the vet nurses, and they basically were telling me that if you want to be a vet, like you can earn more money, but you actually don't spend that much time like caring for animals. And if you're a vet nurse, you spend more time caring for the animals, but you don't get paid as much. So then I decided that I wanted to be a marine biologist, which is a profession with even less money.
That was going to be my next question. What brought you into the aha moment that you wanted to come into marine conservation and marine biology? What changed to where you changed into that?
Yeah, so I'm not really, there wasn't really an aha moment, I don't think, for like studying marine biology. I think it just was a kind of culmination of thinking like, what do I really care about? I'm really passionate about the oceans, like maybe I could do marine biology. But I kind of had that switch from vet to marine biology around, I think it was around 16 or a bit younger than that, but I wasn't so sure on like the whole industry. I didn't know very much about it in terms of jobs and careers. So I was thinking about doing like a marine biology undergraduate degree for a long time, but instead I decided to study biological sciences and specialize afterwards by doing a master's. But all of the all of the opportunities I had to like focus on the oceans, I did. So in the UK, we have something called an extended project qualification,
Oh, okay.
which is basically like a mini kind of subject. You do
Right.
it, you do an essay basically, so it kind of preps you for university. I did that on coral reefs,
Oh,
and then
wow.
when I was studying my undergrad, I just tried to do as many ocean-based kind of internships and placements as
So you've
possible.
been really involved in the marine environment from a young age, very deeply, so to speak. You were really involved between your mother doing it all the time and bringing back information and photographs and things like that. And then you studied it and you were surrounded by it in that way. So what brought on, after all this experience, what made you decide to start the Marine Diaries?
Yeah, so basically, the Marine Diaries was started when I was studying for my master's in tropical marine biology. So it was actually started by one of my friends, Maddie St. Clair Baker, and another one of our friends, Harriet Tiley. And we were all studying the same course together, and we kind of noticed that there's this massive disconnect between the scientific community and the public.
Exactly.
And there's such a
Exactly.
lag in knowledge. So like the scientific community knows a lot of things about, all the things that are threatening the ocean, but the public doesn't.
Right.
Because of the way that scientific research is published in paywalled journals, it's really hard to understand for most people. It takes a couple of years to get, your research published in a
Right.
paper. So there's just this big delay. But we saw with, the plastics issue that something like Blue Planet 2 just like really opened the public eye to that issue. Even though the scientific community had known about ocean plastics for decades.
Right.
Um,
And with which it's harder for the public to know exactly what's going on and understand it. That's the other issue, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. So we kind of came up with this idea that storytelling is really the key way to get conservation messages to the public,
Exactly.
who, people are usually quite busy, they're overwhelmed with information, they have other priorities, they just want to know, like, in an easy to understand way, like what is happening and how can they help. And that's where the Marine Diaries comes in as like a science communication platform.
That's awesome. That's exactly the mission with MCN too. Everybody just needs to be on the same page, and I think with us helping them to understand it better makes the community build a lot faster and a lot stronger for the ocean.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I noticed that you have many projects with Marine Diaries going on right now, but tell us about two of your major projects that you're doing right now and why they're so important for the public to be aware of and to know about.
Yeah, so one that we've kind of started in the last 6 months is a webinar series, which has been kind of headed by one of our social media assistants, Ali. And essentially they are educational webinar series where we invite experts on different topics to come and speak, which basically just gives a chance for our audience to, one, learn about things that they might be interested in, and two, kind of ask questions to those experts, but also learn how they can actually help. So the first one we did was on ocean plastics, and we had some really great speakers from different plastic organizations. And we also touched upon, like how people can avoid plastics in their daily lives, and, touched on a few kind of research elements surrounding ocean plastics.
Great. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was really good actually. We had a really positive response, and it was for our first webinar. I think we had over 200 people sign up.
Wow, that's good. That's
Yeah,
really good. Oh my
it was
gosh.
good. It's a really
Nowadays,
popular.
especially, I mean, everything's online. For you to get 200 people, that's really good. I think people are starting to actually relax a little bit and come back into what they need to be focusing on. So that's wonderful. You had good people attending.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. And we also did a ocean positive businesses one. So we had a couple of clothing companies and also like a sustainable seaweed company,
Oh, wow.
which Yeah, really interesting. So we had kind of like science side, we had a science communication kind of clothing line, and then we also had one that's using fully natural kind of recycled materials. So all of the recordings of those can be found on our YouTube channel. And the next one we're going to be doing is like an ocean careers workshop, which will
Oh, that
be
would be good.
actually,
That's a
yeah,
really good one.
it will be interactive. So it won't be a webinar like a normal Zoom webinar. It'll actually be like a meeting that people can,
Oh, okay. Good. So they can
interact
get
with.
more involved. That's good. Getting more interaction, more connection that way. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
exactly. And we want to showcase all the different types of ocean careers that there are, and make it really valuable for people to find out like how to start those careers.
That's really important. One of the things that when we developed our organization is because I was developing my own path. There are so many aspects of marine biology and marine conservation. You pretty much have to get your feet wet and everything to know exactly where you belong and what feels good to you to where you can make an impact. I
Yeah,
saw something on
definitely.
your website that said takeover. Tell us a little bit about the takeover event that you have coming on.
Yeah, definitely. So the takeovers that we have, they're basically a way to kind of fulfill one portion of our mission, which is about kind of telling stories of the ocean. And a big part of that is highlighting different people that are working hard to protect the ocean. So the takeovers are social media takeovers, where basically any individual or a representative from an organization can showcase their work, like through our Instagram story, our Twitter page, our Facebook groups. And it essentially involves kind of logging into our accounts, sharing a number of posts that tell a story about what that individual or organization is doing, and we give people free reign to use different social media features depending on what platform you're on. Like if you want to go live, you can do that. You can link to your page, use different hashtags, whatever best kind of conveys that person's work.
Okay. Um, what advice would you give to the young people out there, between the ages the 8 to 18, to where they want to be in marine conservation or marine biology, but they're not sure which way to go? What advice would you give to them to accomplish that?
So my advice would always be to just kind of read around the different subjects and see which ones pique your interest, and also to try and get as much experience as possible in different areas. So you don't have to pay loads and loads of money to go and volunteer abroad. You can contact your local aquarium, ask them if you could do a placement. You could go and try and do an internship that involves like policy. You could just
That's
try
good.
everything out, and also chat to different people that are in those different positions to figure out like what does a day in the life of a marine policy expert actually entail. Like would I enjoy that? Is that something I want to do? We also have a article series called Into the Industry that basically
Oh,
does that.
okay.
So it interviews people from all different marine careers. So we've got everything from aquarist to campaigner, that people can kind of figure out a bit about what that actually involves.
So communication and ask a lot of questions. That's
Yeah,
basically what everybody should do, to check everything out, find out where they fit in and what feels comfortable, what feels good to them.
yeah.
How can people help you to grow? How can they help support you, and how can they get in contact with you to where they can help you grow and they can learn?
Yeah, so basically one of the things that I'm hoping to do this year is to get us fully funded. So the Marine Diaries is currently run by a team of volunteers, including myself. I also volunteer my time, and we all have full-time jobs on the side. And we are currently funded by myself, but we also do accept donations. And we're in the process of setting up a kind of Patreon account where people can support us, but also receive something in return for that support. And also just by, you know, signing up to our newsletter. We have a weekly newsletter, following us on social media. We've also recently joined Clubhouse, which is a new app where we're doing lots of ocean talks.
Tell us about Clubhouse, because I hear a lot about Clubhouse, but I don't know what it is. Is it a whole new app that's coming out, or a new thing on Facebook?
It's a brand new app. Well, I say brand new, it's actually been around in the US for about a year, I think. It's audio only, and it's basically different chat rooms. So we've just started a new club called Ocean Conservation, and essentially anyone can start a room about any topic. You can invite different guests. People can just listen, or they can kind of like virtually raise their hand and ask to speak, and then ask a question or add to the conversation. So it's just a really nice, like, natural way of meeting people, having conversations.
That would be great. If you could send that link to us, we could send it out to all of our followers along with yours, and get more people involved in that conversation. I think that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. I can send that to you. But if anyone's already on Clubhouse, then our club is called Ocean Conservation.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've also, if anyone is a business or an individual that wants to support us in a larger kind of context, we're also a 1% for the Planet nonprofit, which basically means that anyone in that network can donate 1% of either their salary or their net profits, or an in-kind donation on a yearly basis that basically helps to support us. So that can be anything from you know, helping create materials or offering skills like graphic design, anything like that.
That's wonderful. And we all need to work together, because there's so many things that need to be done, and there's not enough hands to get out there and really work together. So that would be great if everybody contacts each other and offers to help. Let's help conserve all the oceans, not just one. So thank you. I appreciate you taking your time today. This is wonderful. I love what you guys are doing. You're along the same lines as we are: communication and education, getting everybody connect together. And I'm really happy that you were able to take the time out today to talk to us. And I hope everybody goes on your website and checks it out, and you get all the support that you need, because we're all in it together. Well, Rebecca, thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking the time out today. And is there anything else that you would like for your followers to know, that any upcoming events or anything like that before we head out?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're currently doing at the moment, which is ongoing until September, is we're running a big project called the Marine Ecosystem Diaries.
Okay.
That is basically a project focusing on 9 different marine ecosystems, from coral reefs to deep sea hydrothermal vents, polar ice. We're covering it all. We're making educational materials that are free to access for absolutely everyone. So that's articles, mini documentaries, and posters that can be downloaded and printed at home or at work, or used by NGOs. We've actually got an NGO in Timor-Leste that have printed out our posters. It's really exciting. So yeah.
Is all this on your website?
Yeah, if you go to our website and you go to projects and then Marine Ecosystem Diaries, people can find all of the different materials there. But yeah, it's been going really well so far, and we managed to actually fundraise £100 for Reef World Foundation in January. So yeah, hopefully until September it will continue to do well and reach more people.
That's fantastic. And one last thing, what is the one special marine animal that you love over in the UK that we may not know about over here?
Oh, it has to be a
it's a
UK
hard one.
I guess if you're looking for a UK-based marine animal, then basking sharks.
Oh yes.
Which are found heavily around the UK, which are, I've never actually seen one, but they are massive. They just swim around with their mouths wide open. My mum's actually dived with them before, so
did she get any pictures?
Yeah, probably somewhere.
Oh man, that's wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Rebecca. I appreciate you taking time out today for this interview, and I hope to spread the word all over the social media for you guys and help you grow very big, very quickly. And I want everybody to go on your website, themarinediaries.com, and check them out. Do all that you can to help out, learn from them, and spread the word. This is Kimberly Ray with Marine Conservation Network, and together we make oceans a difference. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.